Happy Oscar nomination day, everyone. This video is all about the surprises, the snubs. We're going to quickly go through the main 6 categories that I personally care about: acting, director, and best picture. Quickly go through those and then talk about who got the most nominations. If you have not seen my live reaction to the awards, click on the video below this one. And if you have not hit that red subscribe, you might as well click over there too. Smash the like button. Send me tons of comments. I love your feedback. Before we get into this, I have to make a correction. Apparently, during my live reaction, when they announced Parasite as one of the contenders for Best Foreign Film or International Film, I said North Korea instead of South Korea. And I apologize. Sometimes my brain doesn't match up with my mouth. And as you can see in other videos, I kind of stutter sometimes a little bit and misspeak. That's just how I am. So I apologize. It was not meant to offend anyone at all. Simply a Susan mistake. So do not be offended. Let's move on. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the main 6 categories, starting with Best Picture. I have to say, I'm very proud of myself. This was the most accurate I've ever been predicting the Oscars in my entire life. I got all of the Best Picture nominees, and I had Little Women as an alternate if they included 9 films, and that's exactly what they did. So, our contenders for Best Picture are Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. This is going to be a very hard, very difficult category to determine because we have a lot of films that are very, very strong. It could be any one of them. Honestly, it really, really could. I don't think we've had this much of a powerhouse Best Picture category in a really long time. I honestly don't know which one to choose right now. I saw 1917 last night. That had an effect on me. I said, I think I just saw the Best Picture winner. At this point, I don't know anymore. I really don't. I feel like I'm going to be guessing all over the map. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's move on to Best Director. I got all of these correct. I'm so proud of myself. So we have Scorsese, Tarantino, Bong Joon-ho, Sam Mendes, and yes, Todd Phillips for Joker. I know a lot of people are upset that Todd Phillips got nominated, not Greta Gerwig. I can understand that, but just be happy for the guy. You know what I mean? Just be happy. I personally love Joker. I think he deserves the nomination, but other people think differently, and that is fine. Best Supporting Actress, the biggest shock of the day. Kathy Bates getting nominated for Richard Jewell. That was out of nowhere because that took away J-Lo's spot. I knew that J-Lo was not going to be nominated. I did not think the Oscars were going to send a nomination her way. I was correct. The other surprise, Scarlett Johansson made it into Best Supporting Actress as well as Best Actress, going from no nominations in her life to 2 in one night. I can't even believe the roller coaster ride she's on this year. Absolutely amazing. So Best Supporting Actress, we have Kathy Bates, Laura Dern, Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, and Margot Robbie. Best Supporting Actor, Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Brad Pitt. These are the 5 that we have been dealing with. This is the most boring category, I think, because there's no surprises. These are the same guys that have been nominated all along, over and over. And it's going to be Brad Pitt. I think we all know this. Tom Hanks, didn't have as much as an impact. Pacino and Pesci are going to cross each other out because they're both equally good. You're left with Pitt and Hopkins. You're going to go with Pitt. So that's really no surprise. Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, Scarlett Johansson, Saoirse Ronan, Charlize Theron, and Renee Zellweger. Again, no big surprises here. Best Actor, Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jonathan Pryce. No Taron Egerton. This was a gigantic snub by the Academy. I predicted he was going to get nominated, especially after winning the Golden Globe and getting the nomination for the BAFTA. Did not happen. What's funny is that I had Banderas and Pryce as my 2 alternates. They both got in. They took the spots of Christian Bale and Taron Egerton, because those were my two guesses. They were out. The other two were in. Man, it's crazy. Awards are crazy. All right. Let's talk about other snubs and surprises. So we talked about J-Lo and Taron Egerton. Another big snub, Beyonce in the Best Original Song category for Spirit from The Lion King. You missed your opportunity to have Beyonce sing at the Oscars. What are you doing? Frozen 2, no nomination for Best Animated Feature. Another big snub, female directors. I know a lot of people wanted Greta Gerwig, as I mentioned before. I personally would have wanted Lulu Wang. I just thought The Farewell was absolutely incredible. And as we are talking about it, The Farewell got absolutely nothing, which is a shame. I'm really wondering if it was because of the time frame of when it came out. If it came out later this year, meaning October, November, December, would it have made a difference? I really, really wonder. Dolomite Is My Name. Poor Dolomite. It did well last night. It won Best Comedy at the Critics' Choice. Eddie Murphy, this is kind of like his comeback year. We're loving him this year. He got the Lifetime Achievement Award last night at Critics' Choice. But no, because Oscars do not gravitate towards comedies, unfortunately. So nothing. It got completely snubbed. And then Lupita Nyong'o. Could have been a shot. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have taken out Saoirse Ronan and replaced that spot with either Awkwafina or Lupita Nyong'o, in my opinion. Saoirse Ronan's performance, and I know a lot of people are going to say I'm dogging Little Women. I'm really not. I'm judging by what I'm seeing. I've seen all of these performances. Saoirse Ronan's is the weakest of the three, in my opinion. I think Awkwafina would be my number one choice, and then I'd put Lupita number two. It's just not as strong. I'm sorry. Surprises, I mentioned the Kathy Bates. The two popes, because I didn't know if the Academy was going to love it, embrace it, or hate it and not nominate it at all. Kind of in the middle. Gave it the acting categories for Hopkins and Price, but not a Best Picture nomination. Interesting. And then another big surprise, Scarlett Johansson, which I already mentioned before. Double nominee, Best Actress for Marriage Story, Best Supporting Actress for Jojo Rabbit. I absolutely love and adore Jojo Rabbit. So I was thrilled to hear her name get called in that category. How awesome is that? And then Ford v. Ferrari. I was actually kind of surprised that it got as many nominations as it did, including Best Picture. So I was very happy. I absolutely love that film. Very good. Now, let's get into who got the most nominations. Joker is leading the pack with 11 nominations. We have a three-way tie for 10 nominations. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and 1917. The next are 6 nominations apiece. That is Parasite and Jojo Rabbit. 4 nominations for Ford v. Ferrari. And what's impressive is that Netflix, between its films, Marriage Story, The Two Popes, etc., 24 nominations. That is quite impressive. I have to say, I'm looking forward to this award show. It's going to be, I think, epic and historic because this season, this year, there are so many powerhouse, strong films. I mean, come on, Joker, over $1 billion at the box office. You have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with powerhouse stars, Parasite, 1917. These are epic, big films that everyone is talking about. And I have no idea who is going to come out on top. It's going to be a ride. Let me know your comments down below and your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about it. I enjoy, going back and forth with you guys and talking about this stuff. It opens up your eyes to different ideas. And I just want to say, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Because I have to say, I've had a couple of people making comments that, Avengers Endgame is a kid movie and it shouldn't be nominated for anything. Well, that's your opinion. And you're entitled to your opinion. That's fine. My opinion is I love Marvel and no one is ever going to tell me different. So thank you. And I am sure a lot of people would disagree with the thought that Marvel is just kids movies. Okay, thank you so much. I know. I just had to get it out there. Thank you so much for joining me for the Oscar breakdown. I hope this clarifies any confusion for you guys. Let's have a conversation. Smash the like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the movies.